You're looking for a watch that actually works for the life you lead, not a shiny billboard of features you'll never use. You want something that stays reliable on a sunrise trail run, doesn't feel like a brick when you're at the office, and won't empty your bank account before the warranty expires. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. The biggest hesitation most of us feel is that the premium price tag can easily turn into buyer's remorse if the device ends up being more hype than help. The Garmin Fenix 8 Pro lands in that sweet spot where adventure gear meets everyday utility, and the bundle it ships with tries to make the whole experience feel a little less like a gamble. Inside you get the 51mm AMOLED smartwatch, a signature series watch stand, and a power bundle that includes a dedicated charger and adapter. It's not just the watch, it's a small ecosystem that says Garmin expects you to wear it, charge it, and keep it on display when you're not using it. Let's start with the kind of person who will actually get value from this. If you're an avid multisport athlete, think trail runners, mountain bikers, open water swimmers who already tracks heart rate, VO max, and recovery, the Fenix 8 Pro feels like an upgrade rather than a novelty. The inReach technology built into the watch gives you a satellite SOS button and two-way messaging, which can be a literal lifesaver on remote hikes where cell service disappears. For the weekend warrior who occasionally dabbles in a new activity, the watch's preloaded sport profiles and automatic activity detection mean you won't have to fumble through menus to start a session. On the flip side, if you're mainly looking for a smartwatch to glance at texts, scroll through Instagram, and maybe get a step count, you're probably overpaying. The Fenix 8 Pro's price point sits well above the average fitness band, and the extra features like the satellite messaging won't see much use if you spend most of your time in the city where a phone is always handy. In that scenario, a cheaper Garmin model or even a competitor's smartwatch would likely give you the same daily convenience for a fraction of the cost. Now, what does the watch actually do when you slip it on? The 51mm case is large enough to house a bright AMOLED display that stays legible under direct sunlight, something that matters when you're navigating a trail or checking altitude at the summit. The colors are vivid, and the touchscreen responds quickly even with gloves on, which is a subtle but important detail for anyone who's ever tried to swipe a tiny screen while wearing winter mittens. Battery life, a frequent pain point for GPS watches, gets a boost from the included power bundle. With the charger and extra adapter, you can keep a spare charge in your bag, meaning you won't be forced to cut a long backcountry outing short because the watch ran out of juice. A practical strength that often gets lost in the spec sheet is how the watch integrates with Garmin's ecosystem. If you already use Garmin Connect, the data syncs effortlessly, and you can dive deep into training load, recovery time, and even stress scores on your phone or computer. The watch also pulls in weather forecasts and sunrise/sunset times based on your location, which is useful when you're planning a day on the slopes or a sunrise kayak. Those little bits of contextual information make the watch feel less like a standalone gadget and more like a personal assistant that knows what you're doing. That said, there are a few trade-offs that matter in everyday use. The watch is on the heavier side. The 51mm case, combined with the battery and the built-in satellite radio, makes it feel solid, but some users notice the extra weight during long runs. It's not a deal-breaker, but if you're accustomed to featherlight racing watches, you'll notice the difference. The interface, while powerful, can feel overwhelming at first. With dozens of sport profiles and a deep menu system, the learning curve is steeper than a simple step counter. You'll spend a few evenings tinkering with settings before the watch truly becomes an extension of your routine. Another real-world consideration is the watch stand that comes in the bundle. It's a sleek, magnetic dock that holds the Fenix 8 Pro upright on a nightstand or desk. It's more than a charging spot, it keeps the watch visible, which nudges you to check your stats or glance at notifications without reaching for your phone. For people who like their tech on display, it adds a premium feel. If you're the type who just tosses gadgets into a drawer, you might never use it, making it a nice-to-have rather than a must-have. Let's talk about durability. The Fenix 8 Pro is marketed as a premium multisport watch, and it lives up to that claim with a stainless steel bezel and a sapphire crystal face that resists scratches. I've seen it survive a few accidental drops in a construction site setting, and the watch still performed flawlessly. The water resistance rating means